it's just really a simple conversation. And to initiate that, it takes honestly 5 to 10 minutes over the phone. That's all it takes to get started and to really be in a position of having some actual solid information and options. It's just a conversation. And we use the term loan application, Andy, but I think it's really important to note again that a loan application, it's not a pass or a fail. It's not an approval denial scenario. It's called a loan application, and that really just sets our foundation. What a loan application is I'm going to ask you to spell your name. I'm going to ask you your home address. And if you can get those things right, then we are on our way. And that pretty much is that initial conversation. It's taken up by you spelling your name for me and telling me where you live and how long you live there. It's kind of like the score
I got on my SATs. I was able to.
We're not going to discuss that. Nobody cares, Andy. Nobody cares about your SAT score. Okay, let it go.
It's just a couple years ago.
But that really is all that it is. It takes 5 to 10 minutes just to get options and to start the conversation. From there, we can collect documentation. Truthfully, the initial documentation that I collect is I'm going to need a driver's license or an ID, and I'm going to need pay stubs. If you can get me those things, you're on your way. It's really not complicated. And so you see people say things like, I'm not ready, or I don't know, or I have to get all my stuff together. You can get me a pay stub and a driver's license, voila, you're in. And, sometimes there's additional documentation that we'll require depending on a scenario, mortgage statement, W-2s, things like that. But really to start the conversation and really open the file and discuss options and numbers, it just is going to take snapping a picture and texting it to me, emailing it. You can upload it to our online secure portal if you feel more comfortable, whatever is most convenient. We do have an online application if someone, doesn't have time over the phone. We get some of those, in the middle of the night when someone finally has time, you put the kids to bed, everything's chill, and then someone can do the online application. So there are those options. But the bottom line of it is that it is so incredibly simple. And what we find is that it's just so much more simple than most buyers anticipate. Just because it's not exciting, someone doesn't feel like, people want a house. They don't necessarily feel excited about the mortgage.
Yeah.
But
you've actually shared some stories with me where buyers or borrowers have said, I didn't think I could. And they leave that brief meeting with you like lit up, excited, because they can actually buy a house now.
Yeah. I mean, we recently discussed one where she said, I just set the goal for myself. I was tired of being afraid. And so I just want to find out, maybe I'll do it in 2 years. I just want to be put on a path. And it was a lot of conversation getting her there because she was just counting herself out, without seeking the facts and knowing that it is, not only is it a, no cost, not only is it a free consultation, it is my absolute pleasure. I want to have the conversation. I want to set you on track. Yeah. I want to tell you what you can do and what you need to do. And for some buyers, as you know, it's going to take a year. It's going to take 6 months. It's going to take 3 months. But if we didn't have the conversation, it would take 6 months instead of 3. It would take 3 months instead of 1. So it's just so important to start the conversation. And that specific buyer that we were using the example of, as you know, she's closed and she cried. I mean, she brought her mom with her and they both cried leaving my office. They were absolutely in tears. We were all hugging and all crying, and she just thought it would never happen. And she's a single mom. She has, she's a full-time caretaker of her 2 adult, fully disabled boys. And she just didn't think it would be possible. And she has keys, as you know. So they're in their house and they got their new dog. And it's a beautiful, it's a beautiful story. And it's so special. And that really what it comes down to is just a 5-minute phone call. If a 5-minute phone call could give you the facts so that you're not Googling this, you shouldn't be Googling a home purchase. You've got to have someone in your corner. You've got to talk to the professionals.